Tell me first what you feel you all were able to accomplish in the off week.
Well, we were first and foremost, the guys were able to get away for a couple of days and just kind of refresh and recharge. The coaches, we got an opportunity to get on the road and go do a little bit of recruiting. But I was just happy for the guys to be able to get away and just step away from football. It's been a long time since they had a couple of days off since, probably July. But we came back and really got after it, had a great practice yesterday. And I thought we improved some things as far as technique and fundamentals that we have been talking about. So I thought we had a really good practice yesterday.
What is your main concern? Well, objective was to run the ball versus Campbell. What is your main objective versus Morgan State?
It's always going to be to run, establish the run. And I thought that we had some success running the ball against Campbell, but the way the game kind of got out of hand early, we got down. We had to kind of throw the ball a little bit more than we wanted to. But we had some quite a bit of success against Campbell running it. We just kind of got away from the run because we got down. But as far as Morgan is concerned, very physical up front. They are they play really, really hard. And I think schematically, they're doing some things a lot better this year than they had done in the past. But traditionally, Morgan is a physical football team, a tough football team. But I think they've done an outstanding job. Coach Sewell, the defensive coordinator there, as well as Coach Wilson, have really got those guys going in the right direction.
When it comes to your, the fundamentals, you always talk about fundamentals of your game. Where does the discipline lie with your team right now?
Oh, well, discipline, I don't think we have a real issue with that around here. We have a great group of guys. So, at times you have to redirect them, but we have a great group of guys as far as that's concerned. I think fundamentals and the things I've been talking about, there's sometimes guys trying to do a little too much. So if I'm the defensive end and I'm supposed to stay outside of the offensive tackle, I need to use my hands to create separation. That's what we're supposed to do. I can't peek in the B gap and then the ball bounces outside. We'll have a defender coming in the B gap. You just stay on the edge in your C gap and do your job. So as long as we get guys doing their job and not trying to do too much, we'll be just fine.
All right, our next question is from Lawrence Davis. Go ahead, Lawrence.
Hey, good afternoon, Coach. How are you doing today?
I'm well, Lawrence. How are you?
I'm good. I just want to talk a little bit about your bye week. What was your main? I know it's a lot of things you guys probably wanted to work on, but what was your main focus of the bye week?
Oh, it depends. It varied at each position. Okay. One thing that I spent a lot of time with was trying to correct my my punter, trying to speed his rhythm up. So that was one area. And as far as the kicking game was concerned, that we tried to clean up a little bit. I think defensive line was pad level and using their hands. The secondary, the back end, we worked a lot of man-to-man coverage and things of that nature, and being more eye discipline. Offensively, the thing was playing faster and executing. So it was a lot of things, and it just varied at per position.
Gotcha. You guys had a really hot start to the season, and it seemed like you guys are getting a lot of praise. And then, kind of a humbling experience a couple of weeks ago. Do you feel like that was a necessary experience for your team heading into MEAC play?
I wouldn't really say a necessary experience. We won't lose 2 games behind that one. So our guys didn't drop their heads, and we come in the Morgan game and still, ticked off about the Campbell game and stub our toe here. So, we put it behind us. We got over it. I think it opened our eyes to some things. And I don't think we read the clippings and got the big head. I just didn't think we played well that week.
Gotcha.
So, we're in a good place. We're in a really good place. And like I said, we had a couple of really good practices this past week. And, we had to kind of sit on that loss a little longer than I would like. But I can't wait till Thursday to hopefully get that taste out of my mouth.
Gotcha. And then last question, just heading forward, as you guys start conference play, what would you like to see from your team as far as improvement wise? Maybe it could be, eye discipline, communication, making things simpler. What would you like to see from your team moving forward to kind of take that next step towards being a MEAC champion?
Well, I think it starts with being consistent. I think, a champion is one that can repeat their performances week in and week out, day in and day out. So we are ways away from being considered a championship football team, but we do want to work and trend in that direction. So I think if we're consistent with our play and we get better quarter by quarter and week by week, I think we'll be trending in the right direction.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and good luck this week.
Thank you.
All right, our next question is from JB Ricks. Go ahead, JB.
Afternoon, Coach Oliver. Always a pleasure to see you. Appreciate you taking out the time. Wanted to hit you up with a question about the importance of having, your MEAC opener on a national stage. What does that mean, not only for the program, but for the conference overall?
I mean, I think it's an opportunity for us to display our brand of football here throughout our MEAC conference, which I think is very much underrated. And then our university. We have a great university here, both academically and athletically. And for us to be able to put our brand on a national stage like that, it means a lot. It means a lot. And then for these guys that we recruited and told them they'd have the opportunity to play on these national televised games and people all across the country be able to see you, it's just good for them to have that opportunity.
And was it an easy transition going into a game on a Thursday night, which would be considered a short week for you guys, but you're coming off a bye, so you still get that extra time? Does that change anything with your transition going into this game, even though it's still on a Thursday?
No, we just kind of pushed our dates back. So yesterday, Sunday was a typical Tuesday practice. Today, we're treating it like a Wednesday for a Saturday game. We just pushed everything back a couple of days to match up. So, the night before the game, Wednesday night, we'll treat that like a Friday night. So it wasn't anything big, and our preparation didn't change.
All right. And one last question for you. Now that the non-conference schedule is completely behind you, pretty successful, I believe a 4-1 record for you guys going into the MEAC play. Do you think this team is ready, based off what you guys were able to accomplish in the non-conference schedule, to compete for a MEAC championship this year?
I'm not ready to talk about championships. We got to win this game this week. Thursday night. We haven't won a conference game yet. Talent-wise, do I think we have the talent to do it? Yes. Do I think our coaches have the ability to get these guys coached up? Yes. But we're ways away from a championship football team. Again, like I said, we have to see improvement every week, because you can't just wait till the last week when it's championship time and say, oh, we're a championship team. So today we had to practice like a championship team. Bottom line, we had to practice better than we did yesterday. And I thought we had one heck of a practice yesterday, but it's all about improvement and consistency.
I appreciate you, Coach. Good luck on Thursday.
Thank you, JB.
Coach, you're always talking about how important the run game is, both setting the tone offensively with the run game and also stopping the run. And this game, ironically, features the top 3 rushers in the league. Latrell Collier, number 3, Davius Richard, number 2. And then they have Alfonso Graham as the leading rusher in the league, averaging over 100 yards a game and 7.2 yards per carry. What have you seen out of him on tape?
He's unbelievable. He can run between the tackles. He runs with power, great vision, great balance in between the tackles. And then, he has the speed that can beat you around the edge. So, we're going to have to be gap sound and have the force players on the edge and keep the ball on our inside shoulder, because this kid can actually, absolutely fly. He's probably going to be the best back we've seen this year. And, we're going to have to play well. And obviously, when you can run the ball, that helps as far as your time of possession is concerned. And you control the pace of the game. And that was one thing the first 4 games of the year I thought we did a good job of, is, we determined the tempo that the game was going to be played. And it started up front with the offensive line. Those guys have improved tremendously. And then, we have a great stable of running backs. So, and it's a team effort. Because then you look at our receiving core. And when people start putting that 7th guy in the box, that's when we can start taking advantage of those receivers up top. So it's a group effort over there, but it does start up front with the big guys.
Speaking about up front, today's player that's joining us is Corey Bullock, a junior offensive lineman. Can you talk about Corey and what he's meant to the program?
Oh, yes. Corey has been a blessing to have on our team and in our program. He's the type guy that we want to build this thing around. High school guys that good character, high character guys, great in the classroom, great in the community, and just all around good person. And obviously a heck of a football player. But I can't say enough about Corey. He's one of the leaders of the offense, and especially up front. And he's as good as he wants to be.
And on the field, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Corey played at least 3, if not 4 different positions in the opener against A&T when different guys had to go out for injury and whatnot. How does that help when you've got someone that can be that versatile and play that many positions?
This is the first for me. I've never seen anybody that is this good at all 5 of them. I mean, some guys can play left tackle, but then struggle when they get on the right side of the ball because it's a different handed stance. And your footwork is a little different. Then the calls are a little bit different on the inside at playing guard. And then obviously when you have to, snap the ball and we're a shotgun team, for you, usually when that backup center or the third center comes in, you get a lot of those bad snaps. And fortunately, we haven't had, we've had very few of those this year. But when you have a guy that's as versatile as that's something.
All right. Well, first, Corey, I really appreciate you joining us here today for the press conference. I mentioned your versatility. So how many different positions did you play? And was that in the opener against A&T?
First off, thank you for having me. And against A&T, I played 3 different positions: left guard, left tackle, and right tackle.
Coming off of the bye week, what were you able to accomplish either as a offensive line, as a unit, or just personally yourself? What did you do during the off week?
In the off week, I definitely got up on some schoolwork, got some rest, treatment, and we went out as an O-line, went out to eat and stuff like that.
We'll start off with a question from Lawrence Davis. Go ahead, Lawrence.
All right, what's good, Corey? How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm actually going to piggyback off of what you just said real quick. Can you kind of talk about, the bond that you have with the offensive line? Coach always talks about, you guys are so together and you guys are really grown and gelled over the last, 6 to 8 months. But can you kind of give us your perspective on it?
It started, I would say, in the summertime, really. It's just like us playing video games together. And the older guy, Robert Mitchell, he brings it to us like, we need to get closer so we can all play on one accord and stuff like that so it can help translate on the field. And that's what we kind of developed in our head so we all could be on one accord up front.
You guys have been pretty much dominating the line of scrimmage the first 4 games. And Campbell, you guys kind of got blown back a little bit on the line of scrimmage. How did you guys kind of, receive that? What was the message like in practice over the bye week?
We just got to play better up front. Because if we play better up front, the whole offense goes as far as we go up front. So when we do our job up front, the offense excels.
And then last question, I know you guys have a very talented running back room. How fun is it to block for those guys when they're coming through the holes and blowing linebackers over and stuff? How fun is it for you guys?
It's electrifying for me to see. It starts with Latrell Collier, and then you can bring in certain guys like Jamari Taylor and then Christian Mosley. It's just fun to see those guys when we create like a hole for them and see them get to the 2nd level and 3rd level. And then it just leads to bigger games after that. It's just fun to watch.
Cool. Thank you so much. Good luck this week.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And our next question is from Shemai Cook. Go ahead, Shemai.
Thanks, Mr. Sherba. How you doing, Corey?
Hey, how you doing today?
Good. So you're going into, Morgan State on a national televised game, ESPN. What have you looked at in your film during the bye? You had all this rest. What have you looked during film on their D-line?
Every week I kind of take the same approach. I start with their get-offs and how they attack the football and pass and run game. And I just come to practice and see what kind of tools I'm gonna use that week to help me prepare.
Good luck versus Morgan State. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Corey, the Eagles are currently leading the league in rushing and have by far the most rushing touchdowns. Is that a sense of pride for the offensive line? And then what is it that you all gauge to determine success?
Before the season, we kind of set a goal for ourselves. We're chasing 25. Chasing 25 means we're chasing 2,500 yards for 2 of our running backs, Louis Collier and Jamari Taylor combined. So that's where we take our pride at up front so we can get the ball and the touchdown.
Great. You should have lumped Davius in there as well.
Oh, yeah. Pee-wee.
Another thing I noticed, we had Robert Mitchell, one of your fellow offensive linemen, on the press conference a few weeks ago, and he talked about how there's also a little bit of a friendly rivalry and competition between the offensive linemen in terms of pancakes. You want to share a little insight into that?
Well, they got one up on me when I didn't play against Virginia Lynchburg, but it's like brings out the competitive nature between us up front. Because when we do that, it's like we're playing much faster up front, and then it's like when we do that, it's going to be hard to stop us running the ball when we're playing competitive and fast up front.
And Corey, how did you end up here at NCCU, and what's your favorite part about being an Eagle?
My favorite part of being an Eagle is it's a lot of things, really. It's really the criminal justice program here at North Carolina Central. It really topped my decision of coming here. And meeting Coach Oliver on my visit and the family spirit I got here when I took my visit, that's really like set the standard for real.